What's going on, everybody? So I wanted to do a video on level 2 data and kind of go through what level 2 is, maybe how you can use it, and kind of help you understand if you need it or not. So we're going to start with the ticker is JVA, and basically what we're going to focus on here is this box. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger so you guys can get a better look at it. But this box is called the order book, right? So these are all of the bid orders for this specific ticker, and these are the sizes of the orders, okay? And then this is the exchange or market maker. You don't really need to worry about that right now if you're just getting your feet wet with level 2. But basically, we got the price, how many shares are being bought at that price, and the market maker. Same thing on the ask, except these are sell orders. So we have someone selling $3, 300 shares at $3.95, and this is the route that they're choosing. Okay, so now we are going to make this a little bit bigger as well. Whoops. There we go. And this is the time in sales. So every time this stock trades, the time in sales pops up on here so you can go back and see. This is the history of all of the sells or buys, whatever, all the sales. Um, and you can see, so if you want to search a specific time or a specific order size, you can sort it and you can take a look. Now, how might you use this? If you're day trading, this might be important to you. So you can see if there's any protection, what the liquidity is. Is this stock trading thin? Are the spreads large? Those kind of things. So in this uh, specific ticker, you have JVA, and yes, the spreads are a little bit wide for a cheap stock. So there's usually when the spreads are wide, that means there's less liquidity and less people in this. So this is a 5-cent spread, and as you can see, there's not really that many big orders around here. You have 8,000 shares at what is that, $3.75, but really that's kind of it. So 8,000 times $3 and so times $4, you're looking at $32,000 in dollar volume, and that's kind of how I like to look at it. If I see someone buying, $1 million worth of JVA at $3.75, well, that might give me more protection, or that might give me more confidence in my analysis of the company, as opposed to seeing a big sell order at 395, where if I it would take me 10 years to chip away at it, and I'm never going to be able to buy through that, $1 million buy order for the specific company. So that's basically what you look for. And then, if you're trading like a really thin, low float ticker, and you do have that situation where maybe you see someone buy a crazy amount of shares on JVA trying to run it up, and then a big seller comes in and washes them away. And now if they were just a big momentum trader, now they're underwater and they have to do a lot more work to get the stock back up. But that's a little bit more advanced, and I don't want to go too deep into it, but that's just the gif of level 2 and how to use it. And then I'll leave you with this clip of a company on SSR to kind of give you an idea of what I was talking about, right? So we have a big order right here of 30,000 shares at, what is that, 30,000 times $4.73. So yeah, so that's $140,000 worth of stock. As soon as this guy gets caught underwater, we can see him have to try to sell the stock down, sell the stock down, sell the stock down. And, it takes a long time to sell when there's no one on the on the bid. If you just sell all of it, you're going to lose a ton of money. So you have to try to sell, chip away, chip away, chip away, and it really limits the upside. So you can use level 2 in that way too. Now, let me give you a little background before I play this clip. When a stock is on SSR, that means short sale restriction. Okay, and that means that short sellers cannot just sell into the bid, right? So I cannot just put in an order to sell at $4.73. But what can happen is you can have the short seller walk the stock down. And that means anytime someone bids or hits the ask, they're just going to fill his order. Now, if if that short seller is getting filled and he keeps dropping the ask, dropping his short sells, then the stock will just sit on top of the ask right above whatever this is at. Okay, so this basically other sellers that are holding the stock will come in and chip this guy away without this guy being able to break this guy. Okay, so it's a little bit of a war, and I know it's a little bit confusing, but this is how it works. Okay, see if we can watch it happen here. So this is a long video, and I don't think I could speed it up, but this is live. So we see that there's orders here, and you can hide your orders too. So if I'm selling, 60,000 shares, I can hide it and show less so the market doesn't know. So we're seeing the orders go through at $4.73, right? And we know that here. Okay, so we see that the spread is tight, and there's some orders getting filled at $4.74, right? We can count them up if we wanted. So normally when I'm sitting here watching a stock like this, because I was short REKR, and I have a piece of paper at my desk and I'll start writing notes on whatever I'm seeing. So if I see a big order at $4.73, I will write that down and I'll do the math and write it in dollar volume as to how much money someone is trying to buy. Now, you can also, if you're watching this, you don't know if this is a short seller or you don't know if this is someone covering a short position, right? So it's something also that you have to take in consideration and figure out by watching the level 2 over time. You want to see who the big players are and if they're making money or losing money. Because if you have a big guy like this who is trying to keep moving the stock higher and then someone comes in here and calls his bluff, well, now he's underwater and he has to get rid of these shares because, well, you have to do your own fundamental analysis on the company. But basically, this guy is telling him like, yo, short term, like you're screwed. This company's no good or whatever it may be. So we can see someone hit this with 11,000 shares. So this guy's slowly getting taken out. And then we'll see here, if someone tries to put in a big order on the ask, we'll see if this guy is hiding his size or not, right? So we're seeing, okay, there's some going in here. We're seeing orders get filled. So this guy might even be seeing, hey, is this guy real or not? Is he going to walk the stock down? What's going on? So now see how the stock just dropped? The ask immediately drops as soon as that buyer was taken away. Okay? So now someone is sitting on the ask trying to short these shares. And we know that because of the SSR. That's our key, that's our tell that we can see, okay, someone wants to short this really bad that they're willing to short it below the best offer. Because if this stock wasn't on SSR, these short sellers would be able to just take out this guy at 472. All right, let's see if we could fast forward this a little bit. So it happens again, right? immediately these orders fall right down onto the ask, and now we have this guy getting chipped away at, and then the next guy will be this guy, and so on, because whoever has long shares doesn't know how big this guy is, and he could be huge, and he could just destroy this entire stock, right? And then, so this goes on, and it goes all the way down like 10 cents. Um, I think it ended up going like way, way down, but I stopped recording it. Um, so if we were to take a look at this stock today, right? I filmed this yesterday because I was short yesterday and I was, um, researching this company. But or I was in this trade. So if we take a look today, right? This is the chart. Now, let me take all my analysis off and focus just on the price action. Yeah, take that off. Let's get rid of that. Okay. So the time of that video was yesterday. The stock was in. So I noticed this happening a little bit earlier, but this is when we saw it in that video, right? This pop. That's why I started recording it, because I thought it was a really good time to show you guys how this plays out. Now, if we zoom in here, we can see this stock, basically it was being walked down. There was no bounce. There was no bounces. This guy was just getting short, getting short, getting short, and then he was probably covering, all of this. But then we fast forward to today, and we have, kind of the same story. Someone's just kind of rotating out of their position, right? And now it's also important to see, what this stock has done. So this stock has gone from $1.74 to $5.50. That's a really big move. And, there was probably a lot of players involved in this that were, kind of accelerating the move or, continuing the move. So, you know, anyone that was just trading this purely on like technicals or a moving average, uh, is really underwater and they have to sell. So that's why this big drop happens. Whoever was kind of involved in running this thing up is now underwater, and then this thing will probably continue to sell off unless they can regroup down here, get some buying power, and push it higher. Because now you might have some shorts that are drawn in, they might stay, it might squeeze a little bit, so it's kind of hard to play from here. But when this was in the fives, this was a pretty good play. Now, that's the gist. And if you're following the level 2, right, you don't necessarily need the level 2, but if you're shorting or if you're, long and you're really like day trading, level 2 is important. If I pull up a company, like Apple or Netflix or something, like someone that's huge, the level 2 is not really going to be that important, okay? Oops, let me see if I could just pull up. All right, well, I'm not going to be able to show you, but basically a company that has more shares, right, or, it's always trading in high volume, a company like Netflix or, any large cap that is very liquid, you're not really going to get a good idea of what's going on watching level 2, okay? You can kind of maybe judge the velocity at which the bid or the ask is hit, but your edge is a lot lower compared to a small cap that only has maybe one or two players in it or big players in it, and you can get a little bit better idea of who you're up against, because a lot of these momentum stocks are just, people sitting at home that don't really have a plan, that are trading them based on the technicals or whatever, and they don't really, maybe they don't know how to use level 2, or maybe they're just getting taken advantage by the bigger players and they're playing the spreads or whatever it may be. So I kind of use level 2 a lot when I'm trading these small caps because I don't want to get whipped around by anyone else. So I just keep an eye and I'll take my notes so I can have an idea of what's going on. But if I'm trading a stock that is a large cap and is very liquid, like an AMD or a Tesla or something that has big swings and stuff, the level 2 is not going to be really easy to pick up on. Okay, it's a lot more challenging. You got all kinds of players in that. The chart works a little bit better for those, right? So your general technical analysis will probably do more than, level 2 analysis. All right. So if you should use level 2 is completely dependent on what you're trading and how serious you are in your trading. If I'm investing in a company like JVA, I don't really care if the stock doesn't move for a couple months because that's not my goal. If I'm looking for some quick cash and I'm just trying to flip a couple hundred shares, then I would pay attention to level 2. Um, so basically you need to have an idea of how serious you are and what the time frame of the trade is. So if you're investing, you don't need level 2. You don't really need to worry about it. If you're scalping stocks or, day trading in and out in a couple of hours, you're probably going to want to get level 2, and you're probably going to be focusing a little bit more on those momentum plays. So level 2 will probably be a good choice for you. But all right, I hope this video helped. I know it's a little bit long, dragged out. I don't really have a script or anything. I was just going off the top of my head. So hopefully you're able to understand and filter out a little bit what I was saying. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, and yeah, tune in for more. Peace.